Hello viewers, welcome to this new video, and today we are going to discuss Harvard architecture, and this series is going on different types of computer architecture. So if you did not check out my previous videos, then just go and check it out. So today we are going to discuss Harvard architecture, and first we have to know what is the history of Harvard architecture. So let's see the history. The man behind the first automatic giant digital brain. The world began to change in the flames of World War II. In the decade of 30s, 40s and 50s of the 20th century, there was a revolution in science. One after another, new discoveries came up with the new aspects to understand the science. Such an invention is the computer, or you can simply say digital brain, which totally changed the world. It was not discovered at once. There is a long history behind this. One of the landmarks in the history of computer is the first automatic digital calculator. The man behind this first automatic digital brain is Howard H. Aiken. Now, who is Howard H. Aiken? Let's see. Howard H. Aiken is an American physicist and one of the pioneers in computing. During his PhD at Harvard University, he had to solve complex differential equations. He had to solve all this numerically. Then he was inspired by Charles Babbage's difference engine. In the year 1937, he came up with a new model of calculator which can solve complex mathematical problems. In the year 1939, IBM engineers approved his model and started this project. Finally, after 5 years, in 1944, ASCC, that is Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator, was introduced by IBM. It was also known as Harvard Mark I. At that time, it is the first automatic digital calculator. In the name of this computer, architecture of this computer is known as Harvard architecture. So here I give a picture of Harvard Mark I. So this is the IBM Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator, or Harvard Mark I computer. Architecture of Harvard Mark I. So what are the main features of Harvard Mark I computer? Let's see. Data is stored in electromechanical counters and instructions are stored in tape punch. Distinct code and data address space is used. Data address space is 24-bit and code address space is 8-bit wide. This 8-bit is not the part of the 24-bit. Simultaneous instruction and data fetching is allowed. So these three are the main key features, or you can say that main three characteristics of Harvard Mark I. Now here I give a diagram related to Harvard Mark I. That is the general or basic block diagram. This is the ALU, that is arithmetic and logic unit. This is the CU, or control unit. This is the instruction memory where instructions are getting stored. This is the data memory where data are getting stored. These are the input device and these are the output device. And there are 4 types of bus: data bus, address bus, control bus and instruction bus. So now let's see that how this bus connects the different elements together. So this is the basic block diagram of Harvard architecture. You have to remember it. Key points of Harvard architecture. So the first point is data and instruction stored in different memory. Separate data and instruction address space is used. Only one clock cycle is needed to execute an instruction. Data transfer and instruction fetch can be performed simultaneously. Control unit circuit is more complex due to addition of some extra bus for instruction memory. Instruction memory is often wider than the data memory. So these 6 points are the main key points of Harvard architecture, or rather you can say that these 6 points are the main features of Harvard architecture. Now there are some advantages as well as some disadvantages. So first see that what are the advantages of Harvard architecture. Since it has two memories, this allows parallel access to data and instructions. Development of the control unit is expensive and needs more time. Data and instructions are accessed in the same way. Both memories can use different cell size. So these 4 points are the main 4 advantages of Harvard architecture. Now see what are the disadvantages which contradicts the advantage. Free data memory cannot be used by the instruction memory and vice versa also. Control unit cost becomes more expensive due to its complexity with more bus. Program cannot write itself, that is, concept of self-modifying code cannot be implemented. Reprogram is not allowed. Data bus is busier than instruction memory bus, so there may be delay in execution. So we can see that here the 5 major disadvantages of Harvard architecture. Now how to resolve these disadvantages? Let's see that. Disadvantages of Harvard architecture are resolved later in modified Harvard architecture and super Harvard architecture, that is also known as SHARC. Now let's see some implementations of Harvard architecture. So the widespread implementation of Harvard architecture is in digital signal processor, that is also known as DSP. Another implementation of Harvard architecture is in Atmel Aviar microcontroller. PIC microcontroller also based on Harvard architecture. And also ARM Cortex M3 microcontroller is based on Harvard architecture. And so on and so forth. There are several microcontrollers which are based on Harvard architecture. So that's all for the day, viewers. In the next video, we will discuss about CISC architecture. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. And if you have any doubt, then please comment in the comment box. And stay home, stay safe. Goodbye, viewers.